Deadpool and Wolverine coming out of the gate with guns a-blazing. No surprise, but maybe even a little bit more surprising than we thought that surprise would be. Now turning in what is said to be a $35 to $40 million Thursday night preview open. This is going to turn into potentially a near $200 million opening weekend. We're going to have a lot to discuss on the box office come Sunday. Stay tuned, but for right now, let's give you the information you need.
Renegade Online.
We got a preview this weekend because this will be a big topic on Sunday. Right here. Deadpool and Wolverine set to tear up the world with $360 million global opening, restoring the MCU glory. Box office preview. It will for this film, the box office glory. But this is a fascinating piece they dove into here. This is a joint venture report by Anthony D'Alessandro and Nancy Tartaglione covering domestic, U.S. and Canada, and the international box offices, respectively. They say Deadpool and Wolverine finally opens this weekend, not only further rebounding the post-strike box office to a healthy place, but also revitalizing the MCU's brilliance. It was only last November that the studio fell on hard times with its lowest opening ever with The Marvels at $46.1 million and $110 million worldwide. Of course, that movie went on to flop, fail, bomb, splat, everything. The current range for domestic on the new Deadpool movie, directed by Sean Levy and starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, $160 to $170 million opening weekend. Domestic. That is the biggest R-rated opening of all time, unseating the original Deadpool's $132.4. Now, again, I remind folks, that is irrespective of actual real ticket price inflation adjustments. From the first Deadpool movie to now, we have had, I don't remember the exact year, I want to say was it 2016 it came out, I think. But the first Deadpool film, we've had nearly a 50% real ticket price, average ticket price inflation since then. So in theory, in that example, if the same movie came out today, Deadpool, and did the same number of butts in seats as it did when it did come out, that $132 million would probably be closer to $200 million, closer to what they're starting to estimate for this film, which is good. That's what you want to see, because it looks like, in theory, most of the audience, a significant portion, almost all of the audience, fans of the original Deadpool movie, are still showing up for this third entry. That's great. That's the power of Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and of course Hugh Jackman. But they're also looking at a worldwide box office, so including domestic, of 340 to 360. So 180 to 190 internationally outside of the U.S. and Canada. That's a very healthy balance, domestic versus international. This also includes what they say about $20 million, what they're estimating in China. So that's a real interesting piece there, because here's what it's going to impact. Everybody's really enjoying Twisters right now. Twisters, like we said on Sunday, unfortunately, it's going to get absolutely pwned. It's screwed with Deadpool coming out, because Twisters is basically going to lose all of its PLFs and all of its IMAX screens, for which, as we understand it, according to this reporting, Deadpool is going to hold those IMAX screens at least for 3 weeks. I believe the 3 weeks they have is until Alien Romulus comes out on August the 16th. Or 3 weekends, I should say, or something along those lines. So Twisters may still have a few PLFs or a few slotted times on some of the PLFs, especially if there's 2 PLFs in a theater. But with as huge as Deadpool is, I can't see theaters coughing up a PLF screen for Twisters, unfortunately. Movie theaters are adding so much capacity right now for this film. It's ridiculous. People posting pictures of it on X and things like this. But Deadpool is looking to absolutely wreck it this weekend, which will be fantastic because this kind of takes us into an adjacent story. We've talked about this a bit before. We've covered the AMC earnings call. AMC theaters, okay? They were in a very precarious position for a while. Obviously, the meme stocking helped them a lot. It drove the stock price of AMC into the stratosphere for reasons because of Reddit or whatever. There wasn't a whole lot of actual financial basis for it. Let's just put it that way. That's the danger of meme stocking. But what it did do is it afforded AMC a couple of amazing opportunities to liquidate treasury stock, shares of AMC that AMC itself owns. Liquidate them at very opportune moments when the prices for AMC stock were as high as they were. And this has also, in turn, afforded them the ability to go through their debt reorganization, which they have done. And they have basically gotten approval for some serious debt reorganization, which is going to help out AMC tremendously. Meaning that a lot of the billions of dollars of corporate bonds, notes that were going to be due in 2026 are now pushed back to 2029, I think in some cases 2030. They have additional packages they're renegotiating. So this is a big help for AMC to get through the next 2 or 3 years beyond what they had originally planned to be able to do without hitting a crunch to repay billions of dollars of debt 2 years from now as the industry recovers. The reason I bring this story up is that for companies like AMC and the box office in theaters, this is what's most important. And that is this. AMC and all these different theater companies, Marcus Theaters, Cinemark, Regal, whatever, they'll all be fine, provided that Hollywood gets back to producing more films that people want to see. That's the key. You can't blame AMC for the lack of business when Hollywood, for the last several years, has been pumping out a majority of product that is trash. We've had a lot of big winners in there. We've had a lot of real success stories in there. But I think if Hollywood, look at Twisters, for example. Nobody expected that thing to do $80-something million on its opening weekend. Nobody had that. Nobody had that on the bingo card. Not one damn person had that. Everybody was looking at 50 to 55, maybe 60. Boom, 80. Why? It's just a fun popcorn movie. They didn't get preachy. They didn't put politics in it, and the word spread. And the director was smart enough to take that question on why didn't you put climate change in there? And he said, because what did we need to do that for? People don't want to see a movie about the politics stuff. We just want to make a fun movie about tornadoes. They've been around since long before politics. Got news for you. We need more stuff like that. That's what's going to save AMC is Hollywood actually producing quality content that audiences want to see and get them back into the theaters. Because I think a lot of the reason that people have been fatigued or some people have decided not to bother seeing things, yeah, stuff goes to streaming too quickly. Hollywood has started to correct that. But the other part of the problem is that there's a lot of stuff that goes to theaters that's just crap, like I said, and that audiences are not going to waste their time and money on, especially nowadays at $15 to $20 a ticket. So this will help AMC if Hollywood can get back to good form. So I wanted to call that to your attention. Good for AMC, and I think that was really something that they desperately needed.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.